Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife and Resources Agency.
Hey, welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. Now we're back to 3-2-1, which I like that. Miss Shelby and her 2 weeks away from us, but glad to have her back in the studio and feeling better and keeping things going as she has for more than 5 years on Outdoors with Larry Ray. And again, welcome to all you listeners in Brownsville on 1520 AM and 95.3 FM, and Jackson on News Talk 101.5. Of course, right here in Memphis on AM 790 and 92.9 HD FM every Saturday morning right here in Memphis. And glad to have Gene Smith, Dave Gabbert. Gene's in studio. Dave is up at Lexington. And then John Gordon has joined us. He's had a busy September. He's normally here on the third Saturday, and he and Frank Barton usually duel for segment introductions. And it's really a tight race most of the time. Eat your heart out, Frank. I mean, we're not going to let John introduce himself, but a lot of things going on. You think, well, man, this is tomorrow will be the first day of October, which really blows my mind that, 1 month from today, Dave Gabbert, deer season opens. In October the 28th or 29th, when is that? I'm looking at it here. October the 28th and 29th is the Young Sportsman. And then, let's see, October 30th is when we start out in the unit CWD. October the 30th. So I'll be deer hunting on Halloween. Of course, archery is going right on now through October 27th. And again, the Young Sportsman is October 28th to 29th. And then the regular gun season, October 30th. And remember, we're just talking about the unit CWD because that's encompasses most of ours. But it's also waterfowl season for some. Has started. Has gotten people fired up. And now, thanks to DU, tell us about this Waterfowl 360 website.
Yeah, Larry, it's really been a great thing that we put together because we call it the ultimate waterfowl hunting resource.
Okay, all right.
Because it is. And
Yes.
And you've got migration alerts coming in from all over the country.
Yeah.
Like I said, you've already seen things coming in from Canada, to Minnesota, the Dakotas, and we have a migration map, so you can go to all those. Those alerts will come up on the map, and you can click on there, and it'll give you a report from there. We've got hunting tips, waterfowl ID, hunting destinations, recipes, decoy strategies, retriever training, shooting tips, new guns and gear. It's really all encompassing for the entire waterfowl experience.
And it also, you get reports too. I noticed that, right? I mean, because like I said, I just looked at it earlier this week, and he had a report out of Minnesota. He had a report out of Kentucky.
And anybody can do that.
Anybody can supply
right.
that.
You can register for the on the site and give your reports from all wherever you're at.
So you're thinking right now we're in tomorrow being the 1st of October, we're in the get ready mode. I would think.
We're in a get ready mode, but it's already happening. To the north of us, Canada opened September 1.
Yes. Oh yeah.
We've already filmed 2 television shows up there in Saskatchewan, back to back.
Ah, okay.
So it's rocking and rolling, and you've got a lot of those. Minnesota's already open. I think North Dakota will come in
soon.
I think this may be the opening week coming up, where resident only, and then that following weekend that non-residents can hunt in North Dakota. So it's on. And you think about it, we're not far behind at all.
No, we're not.
Arkansas, mid-November.
Yeah.
It's all coming in hot.
And then, of course, if you go to ducks.org, of course, you get a lot of these information at the same time. And I know I've talked to people in East Arkansas, West Tennessee. They need water.
Man, it's it. We're starting out dry again.
Yeah, if you're not pumping, and most people can't afford it or whatever it might be, but at the same time, it is dry. It's dry, and the long-range forecast for 6 to 10 days, if you believe those, I don't know. It says dry and warm. It's almost in the 90s this weekend. Let's just say that.
Yeah, we've got to be setting records, I think, in this last week and then going into this next week. It looks like it's going to break the following weekend. There's temps that are going to be down into the upper 50s to,
normal.
highs in the
Get
mid-70s.
back to normal.
Back to normal at this time of year, right?
And I know, Dave, you used to know the Fork of Deer and all the areas of West Tennessee. Are you hearing anything from those guys about the water situation, Dave?
No, of course I've been out of pocket the last couple of weeks, but most of
they rely on rain, don't they? I mean, yeah, you're talking about particularly on the Fork of Deer and those places, and I've been.
Well, there's a lot more leases and stuff up there now that pumps. But
that pumps, yeah.
Water Fork of Deer to pump.
Yes, and you got to have water in the Fork of Deer to pump, right? I mean,
right.
And so a lot of our guys, the 1st of October, they're out there with there's some bad things out there while you're getting ready for duck season. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but there's such things as mosquitoes, and snakes and things along that line. And yet, John, duck hunters are determined, right?
That's right. And being in Texas,
Oh, yeah.
for several weeks, the mosquitoes, especially, they were really concentrated because there was no water outside of them hamlets that places people had pumped.
So where are those mosquitoes coming then? They're going to wherever they can find.
That's it. So they were really concentrated around the water. And, man, right before first light, man, I mean, you could just hear the hum.
The hum.
Of the mosquitoes that were just by the millions, I think.
Well, I think, Gene, you know that. I mean,
yes, sir. Also, we speak about different birds migrating here now.
Yeah.
Andy was also talking about his duck or whatever had a funny-looking bill. He don't eat crustaceans on muddy water. I don't know what bird he was talking about.
Maybe in shovelers because I saw them in
he
Texas.
said he had a bill like a shoveler, yeah.
Spoonbills and pintails were already showing up down there as well. So the migration's on, and the teal hunting was really world class. But it was all just dependent upon, and man, some of those guys had spent, I don't know what they had spent pumping water, because they started pumping water back in June.
Oh, yeah.
Just to have any, because they were losing 1.5 to 2 inches a day just from evaporation alone. And there's been no significant rainfall down there at all. And I think it's really now becoming that's not more the common thing this year than uncommon, is that nobody's got any water.
Well, and I think this is 2 years in a row.
It is.
I mean, we got so much water in July, which we're not used to with storms and things along that line. I don't know. El Nino, and we don't talk about climate change much on this show because, we're all in the climate and we all seem to change. But I feel like that something's going on right now, then it'll affect the wildlife. And it also, Dave, and you could fill me in on this, it affects the mass crop, too. I mean...
oh, yeah. Well,
For us deer hunters, I know the acorns or whatever it might be. I'm seeing persimmons. They're coming out okay, but I haven't seen...
But we got the rainfall back early when we needed it, because I'm looking the acorn trees, the oaks, red oaks and the white oaks up in my area are loaded.
Are loaded. That's what they are here. Yeah, and that's because of July, the rain that we got in July. But I don't remember ever running my sprinkler in October.
And that Mississippi River you're talking about, a lot of people don't realize when it gets way down on the gauge like that.
Yeah.
The topography of Reelfoot Lake with all those sand seams, it sucks the bottom out of Reelfoot.
Yeah. And John, I know you if know people that hunt the river and the oxbows for ducks. And
I do, and especially you're talking about the folks that hunt the public waters in Arkansas.
Yeah.
Well, they're just not going to be any backwaters at all.
No.
That's going to, unless it rains significantly in the next couple of months, those places are just going to be nothing.
I'm thinking about
something happens.
Langale and places like that.
Langale, the White River, the Black.
Yeah.
All of them are going to be just way low, and it's going to take a lot just to get it up to normal levels before, even talking about flooding.
All right. Well, I know that things are going on at DU. Tell us what's happening there. You've done all your DU nations. give us an update on what's going on communication-wise at DU.
Man, things are really happening. We're getting into this time of year. It's from my standpoint, I've got the DU Nation train is rolling hard. We filmed I think 5 different segments in Texas.
Yes, 5. Okay.
And some of those have already started coming out, and we've got one of my videographers just got back from Minnesota.
Okay.
They were filming up there. We've got Prince Edward Island filming coming up on DU Nation in October. We've got we're taking a road trip: Colorado, Nebraska, South Dakota. That just keeps rolling on. And Ducks Unlimited Television going into its 27th year of filming.
27th year.
We've already done 3 episodes.
Yes.
1 down there in Texas for teal. 2 episodes in Saskatchewan. They're primarily geese. We've got Prince Edward Island as well. Again, too, on the TV show coming up. Then it's North Dakota, Minnesota, Nebraska. That train rolls on as well. So things are really happening. It's for me, it's a really busy time of year.
Well, I know, again, you go to ducks.org, and if you were asking about that, the DU Waterfowl 360 website, I guess you can go to, they've got an app out called Mobile Migration that allows waterfowlers to take advantage of other tools on the free DU mobile app, which I have. And but you've got some good sponsors for that and everything. But get out, folks. All right, we got 2 minutes. We need to have a pun. We have not had he punted on us while we were off the air, which was a real good one. Gene, give us a pun as we take out of this segment.
Well, I had a friend of mine, we were talking about getting lost here the other day.
Yeah.
He got one of those emergency things.
Yes.
And he got hung in the woods, and he pushed that button and said, could you call back later? I'm on my lunch break.
There we go. There we go. All right, let's take a break, come right back, and we're going to talk to a man that just won $50,000 crappie fishing on Outdoors.